Welcome back to the Hold My Crown podcast. It is a beautiful day. We have my beautiful, wonderful friend, Meagan Tandy Wellington.
Hello. Yes, Mrs. Wellington now.
Mrs. Wellington. She is a newlywed, and she is here as a pageant expert. But Meagan is an expert in all things. Meagan is an incredible woman, incredible friend, an incredible wife, daughter, all of that. She's also an incredible actress. It's been so fun watching your career over the last, that I've been actively watching it over 15 years, but you've been in the industry for so long.
Yes,
so we will have to do another episode where we talk all about the industry, pageantry, your pageant experience, and all of that. But today we are here to talk about a little bit about Miss USA, but also Miss Universe.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a bit of controversy at Miss Universe in the last 72 hours. And it is constantly evolving. So we are giving as much as an up-to-date kind of review and our opinions and our thoughts as possible.
Yes.
Meagan, can you give the audience a quick mini background of your personal pageant experience? And then from there, we'll jump into Miss USA and Miss Universe.
Yeah. So, a couple of years ago, I was Miss California USA.
Just a few years ago.
I got to hold that wonderful, prestigious title, which was really awesome. I went on my second round, which was really cool. I got to go to Miss USA, and I got third runner-up at Miss USA, which is really exciting.
No big deal.
No big deal. Especially someone that had not grown up in the pageant world. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I love pageants. My mom and I, God rest her soul, we used to always watch the pageants all the time. So I was just kind of using all that expertise when I was up on the stage. And I got a third runner-up. And since then I've been, just kicking off with my career as an actress, and things have been working out pretty good.
Yes, they have.
And what was the other question? Did I get it?
Just want to know kind of your pageant background.
Okay.
We were chatting before the podcast, and Meagan is like, if I wasn't in the industry that I'm in, I would be all up in the pageant world.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So, I think the boards are still there. I'm not really too sure, but there's definitely these pageant boards that are out there where all these fanatics come together who absolutely love the pageant world, and everyone's just chatting about it. And so I told her, I was like, if I wasn't an actress, trying to be a public figure, I probably would have my own handle, and I'd be right on those boards, talking and everything. So I love it. I love following it.
I love it too. And there's so many ups and downs, especially in the last few years within the organization Miss USA and Miss Universe. Oh my goodness, there's so much.
So much.
I'm like, how are we going to get it all into one episode? But let's just dive right into Miss USA.
Okay.
There's a new owner. His name is Tom.
Yes, shout out to Tom.
I wanted to do an entire episode on just the Miss USA drama because Tom announced he was the new owner, and then the previous owner, Layla, made a public statement saying, no, he's not. I am. And I'm like, you need to check your email, girlfriend.
Right. And then they're fighting over the Instagram account too.
Yes. So she had control of the Instagram account. He needed to get control of the Instagram account. And then it was just all this back and forth. He had, I think, about 4 weeks to plan an entire Miss USA production, which is unheard of.
Definitely.
These things happen over a year period of time.
No, for sure. And then I wonder if he actually had it a little bit sooner, just by a month or two, because apparently Layla, right?
Mm-hmm.
She got the axe in July or something.
Right, exactly.
So, I don't know. So
I think he's probably been in the mix for a while, trying to bid for it and get everything settled. But I think he didn't announce until it was officially settled.
Right.
All of the ownership was right. So smart because Layla.
I know.
Goodness gracious.
Suing everybody right now too. There's a
lot of documents.
Yeah.
A lot of people are named in the documents. I'm like, woo. And then Anne, the owner of the Miss Universe organization.
Oh, yes. Queen Anne.
Who's front? Is that what we're calling her now?
Yeah. See, that's always what I thought the person wanted to be called. So I've always said Queen Anne.
Okay.
But I never knew that actually was not their first name.
Okay.
So I have no idea. Is it just Anne?
I've heard Queen Anne referenced a few times recently.
Okay.
So maybe, I don't know.
Who knows?
It's all wild. If you are not fully immersed in the pageant world, the Miss Universe organization is the overall umbrella organization, and then there are countries underneath.
Yeah.
So there's new ownership at Miss USA, and there's a lot of past drama within the ownership of Miss Universe as well. We're not going to get into all the details because this would be a 6-part episode if we were doing that.
For sure.
But there's new ownership at Miss USA. They put on a wonderful production. We have a new Miss USA that was crowned 6 days before leaving to
Yeah.
Miss Universe. So in a quick recap, I would love to hear your thoughts. If there's anybody listening that has been following me on Instagram, I was a judge.
Wee-hoo.
I would love to do even more a full episode on my time at Miss USA. I do think it was run so smoothly. I've been
Nice.
around the organization for a while, so I know there's so many balls to juggle. And
For sure.
with such the short time that they had to pull an entire team together and put on a production, I think they did really well. But what do you think about Miss USA as a production, the new ownership from what you've seen so far, and the new title holder? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I gotta say again, shout out to Tom. I just feel like for a while there, we didn't even know that there was going to even be a pageant.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite scary. Just as a former title holder and now a big fan, I was just like, are these girls going to even have a chance to compete? So.
Right.
I'm really just quite impressed by the fact that he was able to pull it off, and he's got such a great team. And not only that, there was 8 states that didn't even have title holders.
Oh my goodness.
And that was kind of just a freak out in and of itself, because it's just like, okay, so I guess these states are not going to be represented at this year's Miss
Right.
USA, but they came up with a really clever idea to make it an appointed system.
Mm-hmm.
So that way each state could have a representative. So, hey, I got to give it to them. They did a really good job. I thought that was awesome. And also in the midst of that, they were able to go back to Reno. Mind you, I'm more of a Vegas Miss USA person myself.
I agree.
Can't wait till they take it back there. I'll be there. But the fact that they were able to go back to Reno, a place that has already established a wonderful, I should say, relationship with the pageant world, I thought that was actually really, really smart. And then getting this one to get on the judging panel, I thought was a great move as well.
Hey, I thought so too. I think it is important to have someone from the pageant industry
For sure.
as a judge, at least one person, because
and a former.
exactly, because
Yeah.
you have a lot of people that are kind of like, what am I looking for?
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
They're trying to figure it all out. So even
Mhm.
little things, I'll just share one little moment from judging with some of the judges. I won't say who. But I did see one or two of the judges, which is natural. If you see someone that you really like, you want to like clap for them, or you want to like nod or
Yeah.
something like that. Well, I had to pause right in the middle of the competition. I said, hey, only clap for like everybody or nobody.
nobody.
Only
Yeah.
smile for everybody or nobody, because the girls watch every
Oh,
expression,
for
every
sure.
movement, and they know, oh, he smiled for her and not for me,
Mhm.
or vice versa. Or
The parents notice too.
the parents are watching you like hawks. So there's little things from like, as a former, it's important to have someone from the industry there to kind of like fill in those little gaps, you know?
100%. That's why I was glad that you were there. I was like, okay, all right. I don't know who anybody else is on this panel. Well, besides Sasha. Shout out to Sasha. He's awesome.
We did a
But-
dance class with him. Do you remember that?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
That's right. A long, long time
Like
ago.
8-9 years ago.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Sasha's amazing. I'm glad that Tom was able to get him to come on board just to kind of offer like a different perspective. I thought that was great. And I love that you guys got to do it together.
Yeah, it was fun.
But I am just glad that you were there, because it was good to have, because I feel like the rest of the panel didn't really have much pageant experience. So
Right.
to have you there as the expert of the table, I thought was really good.
Thank you. We did also have a Filipino judge, and Kenneth.
Is that the guy? Okay, I was going to say.
Kenneth. He's a designer. And I'm like, I
Oh,
feel like
nice.
all Filipinos that have any pageant knowledge can call themselves experts.
Oh, for sure. And shout out to the Philippines, because they've got
Yes.
such a wonderful following for all their girls.
They do.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
cool.
he was wonderful. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you know this world, absolutely. Especially a designer. He's in the industry.
For sure.
They're all wonderful, but I was like, okay, Kenneth, he is the one that, besides me, is really like locked into this.
Nice.
I do think it was great. The new winner, Audrey, had 6 days to get ready
Oh my
for
gosh.
Miss Universe. And imagine having you have to plan and pack all brand new wardrobe,
Yeah.
gowns, everything.
She probably didn't even get a chance to go back home.
No, I don't think she did. I
Yeah.
think she went from Reno
Whoa.
to LA, shopped some showrooms, did some like makeover stuff here with Eric Vaughn. And then I believe
Nice.
it was Miami, and then off to Thailand.
And I got to say, in those 6 days, I absolutely love what they have done with her overall aesthetic. I mean, I love the darker hair on her.
Yeah.
She's got it going on. I got to say, she's got it going on. And the styling, she's got it going on. So, I mean, for someone who basically had to come in to Miss USA, probably within like a month, they found out when the actual pageant
Right.
was. Then you have to pack so much stuff, and then you got 6 days to get ready for the girls got it going on. So good job, Nia.
Oh, thank
good
you.
job.
I mean, she was incredible, and we'll maybe in another episode talk about a little more details of the judging and Miss USA and all of that. But she was a front runner from the beginning. Strong performance. And so I know she's going to show up and represent us well as Miss USA at Miss Universe. And she has so far. She looks incredible. So I'm very, very proud of her and excited for her. It's such a huge opportunity to represent your country. And it happens so fast. Like
100%.
She's there. So let's take a little break. That was a little Miss USA chit chat, but we have a lot to dive into about Miss Universe. So let's take a little break. And when we come back, we will talk about the Miss Universe controversy that has hit all the headlines. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. We are talking about the Miss Universe controversy. It involves Miss Mexico and Mr. Nawat. I cannot pronounce his last name, so I'm just going with the first name.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah. Nawat.
I've met him once before. Have you ever met him?
No, not at all.
Miss Grand International was in Vegas one year, and my Miss Indonesia had coached and prepared her country's Miss Indonesia for the pageant. So we went to the pageant together, and her title holder won Miss Grand International.
Okay, that's
and have you met Abina, my girlfriend, who was my Miss Ghana, I believe?
Maybe, I think so. We all went to dinner
beautiful
once.
black girl.
Yes, I did meet her.
Okay, you did because she was at a lunch or a dinner that we went to. Yes, so she also won Miss Grand International. And I may have to get her on here to give me some more insight to the relationship with Nawat because he was her national director.
Oh, yeah. No, you have to.
So
I'm very curious.
All the details. So let me give a brief overview of Nawat's relationship with the Miss Universe organization. You may already know this. And then if I'm missing anything, let me know. And then we'll talk about the incident.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
So Nawat is the director of his own pageant, and he has a media kind of conglomerate in Thailand. His pageant is Miss Grand International and is known for being very over the top. They don't do a simple runway walk. They are like spinning, their arms are doing things. They're just over the top. And that's just what he's known for.
Okay.
He then was given the directorship of Miss Thailand Universe and became the director of the Asia Oceania region.
Okay.
So he has a lot of involvement in the Miss Universe organization.
Yeah, that's 3 hats.
Exactly. And when the ownership went from the US to Thailand, that's his home base. So it's like the new owner, whom no longer is the owner, was from Thailand. So it's a lot of Thai connections. And so I believe from what I've understood that he is kind of signed up to fully host and run Miss Universe because this is his wheelhouse, his world.
You mean the actual pageant, not the
pageant.
Organization, just this year's pageant. Okay.
Yes, not the whole organization, the pageant.
Note that.
So Anne, who was the owner, sold almost 50% to Raul, who is from Mexico. I could be wrong, Anne, I don't know if you're ever going to listen to this. You can let me know. Queen Anne. I hear that she has some legal troubles, some financial troubles
big time.
in Thailand. And she is hiding out in Mexico with Raul.
Oh my!
I hear that he's hiding her in Mexico.
Oh no!
So, of the most recent update, I heard that Nawat was and we'll get back to the actual incident, but recently, apparently, he said I called the Miss Universe organization and I want someone from their leadership to be here. So from what I've heard, no one of a high level leadership of the organization is actually in Thailand. Him and his team, Nawat and his team, are really running most everything.
Interesting.
And now we'll dive into what happened, and you can fill me in if I missed any bullet points. But there's sponsors. There's sponsors for all pageants, and title holders are often charged with promoting or posting about those sponsors. That's just kind of how it goes. It's how it's gone for quite some time. When I competed, Chi was a huge sponsor. Chi Hair Care. They were huge. They paid, I believe they were a $4 million sponsor for the Miss Universe organization.
That's pretty
annually, $4 million. So the title holders sure are rocking their Chi bag, doing Chi photo shoots, having Chi hairstylists. It's a whole thing. And so Nawat brought on sponsors, Thai sponsors, and the girls were expected to post for the sponsors. This, from what I heard, Miss Mexico said, sure, just let me check with my director. And then the director maybe guided her not to post or not to reshare or whatever it might be that sponsored whatever it was. And it seems that Nawat had a problem with that. They were at a sashing ceremony where all contestants were
all places
in attendance. Right. Something special.
Right.
Very special. And he kind of called her out. He was definitely very verbally berating her, belittling her, asked her to stand up in front of everybody. It's like an embarrassing thing, embarrassing her. If there's an issue, pull her off to the side and say, hey, I'd like to resolve this issue. This is what's expected. How can we make this happen?
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. He called her out in front of everybody. And then at one point when they were kind of going back and forth, and she was saying like, I'm using my voice, like I'm speaking to you in a respectful way. And he was saying, no, sit down. It's not your time to talk. And he was saying it in a very like kind of aggressive tone.
Oh, for sure.
He then called security on her.
Yeah, that security part I thought was just, it's like, bro, come on.
Did you have a flashback to Bon Qui? Did you?
You know what? Yeah.
Security.
Yeah, security.
Security.
That's good, Nia.
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
I love that.
I had a little Bon Qui moment. I'm like, excuse me, sir. Especially with like the language barrier. I'm like, security.
Yeah.
Apparently, she kind of started gathering her things and was ready to leave before she was escorted out. But then Miss Universe, the current Miss Universe had enough, was like, absolutely not. We don't speak to women like this. We don't treat women like this.
Good for her.
She left, and then many of the other contestants were ready to leave in support of Miss Mexico. Yeah. So that's the initial incident. How do you feel about it? What do you think about Nawat, who's not even in like the leadership of the Miss Universe organization, running things, speaking to women like this? Like, what are your thoughts and opinions?
Well, first I will say, I mean, and look, obviously pageants are going to be different from the acting world, but I will say when someone, mind you, this man's wearing a lot of hats. So let's just, just focusing on the hat of producer. He's clearly the showrunner of this year's actual production of Miss Universe. So typical showrunners, producers, they are behind the freaking scenes.
Absolutely.
You don't really see them. They're not really at the forefront. And I feel like the biggest problem with all of this is this man wants the spotlight.
I agree.
I was actually quite confused as to why he was even addressing the group, because I was like, wait a minute, is he on MUO staff?
Right.
Like, it shouldn't be, like, I remember in the days when Paula Shugart would address the girls, it made sense.
Right.
But for this guy to be doing it, and he is essentially this year's showrunner, it didn't make any sense. So I thought, just from that standpoint, I just thought on a professional level, he's already overstepping boundaries. Yep. On top of that, I find the man to personally, he looks like a tyrant. There was some drama with a former title holder of his named Rachel Gupta, who actually, she resigned. She gave up her title. And she had a whole YouTube video where she's talking about all the things that this man allegedly did. And I will say, it's kind of adding up, because his behavior, especially with the way he addressed Miss Mexico, I thought that was just, honestly, it was awful. I mean, he clearly wanted to publicly humiliate her because she didn't want to, sponsor or I'm sorry, advertise his sponsors. Right. So I just found that to be very unprofessional, and I really felt so sorry for the girls, but I am really glad and proud of the girls that walked out, because that was a really, really good stance to be able to do that. But I will say, Raul said something, because he ended up doing like a big press conference. Right. And I don't remember the guy's name. I don't know if it's like Michael Busca or something, but someone's coming in from Mexico now to kind of like take over.
I think he's a new, like, very high up leadership owner, director, something along those lines.
So first of all, we need a woman up in here on this staff. I've been putting that on like all of like the MUO like Instagrams. I'm like, hey, just make sure you guys like hire a woman. But
I love that you're doing that.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm on it. But back to Nawat, I will say.
Is that how you say his name?
Look, I don't know. I don't have.
That sounds better than what I'm saying.
Now what? You know what?
Now what?
Now what? I have no idea.
We don't know
wouldn't make fun of the man's name. I sincerely, I don't know. But I will say this though, even though Raul said that Nawat is going to no longer be, around the girls. I mean, just today, or should I say last night, he like did a full blown like red carpet thing, and he's crying
hysterically on the red carpet.
Yeah, and then he cried again at another thing, which I didn't know that. I found that video because I'm on it. He cried again at like another thing, and then he was on stage at their like welcome ceremony thing today, and
Was
he's
he?
addressing everybody again, and it's like, bro, you're the showrunner.
Right. You don't need
Get
to be
behind
the
the
spotlight.
scenes.
Exactly.
No.
I do think he likes a lot of the spotlight.
Ugh.
From what I've
It
seen.
reminds me of somebody, but I can't say. Kind of reminds me of our El Presidente. Anyways, continue. Continue. No, yeah, continue.
Someone else that has an association with the pageant world.
We're not going that way. But by the way, I mean, I did love it when he owned the pageant, though, I will say.
Right. Gosh, we could talk about that with the glam and everything. I feel like Miss USA, just a small reverting, has gone back to a little bit more of the glam.
Yeah, I agree.
I do feel like the fans
love the photo shoots.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I did. So there was an initial incident, and then Miss Mexico went while in the hotel to a whole bunch of fans that, of course, are recording and sharing the content. And she spoke out. And I feel like I'm very proud of her, because a lot of these women are in their 20s. And while you are very empowered, it is still a little bit scary, at least from my perspective, because I wanted to win Miss Universe. I wasn't there to like ruffle feathers. I just wanted to do my very best. Yeah. And so I imagine if I were in her shoes, I would know that I need to speak out and say something, speak my mind. Yeah. But I'd also be nervous and not want to hurt my chances of winning or doing well in the competition. So she spoke out. She said that it's, she kind of reshared what he said. He essentially called her dumb.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was just
and the
so
way
awful.
He was speaking to her.
Yeah,
and
so terrible.
And she said that's, unacceptable. We have a voice. We need to be allowed to speak for ourselves. And so I'm glad that she spoke up and made it very clear that she was not trying to disrespect the Thai people or the Thai culture.
Yes.
There's a lot of cultural differences where people could see that as a big form of disrespect.
100%.
So I'm glad she spoke out and made it clear she is so grateful for the Thai culture and the Thai people.
Yeah.
And it was just that specific person, Nawat, that she had an issue with. And it was even her. She said, he has an issue with my organization, and I'm just trying to do my very best to represent my country. And I don't think she should be punished for following the guidelines of her organization.
And I am glad that she did decide to speak to the fans, because I think under, Nawat, you don't know what narrative he would have put out there, because, the girls don't speak Thai. So I think that was her opportunity to say, hey, before, he says XYZ, this is what happened. And so I commend her for that. And I'm just so glad that she had the support of so many girls, because that could be really, really, that could be very lonesome if you were just there by yourself. I mean, she was literally, I found a video where she's literally just standing up by herself talking. It's got to be so alienating and so embarrassing and humiliating. So I'm glad that she had the girls behind her for that.
Me too. And I mean, imagine being another contestant in the room. There's so many language barriers. I personally can barely understand Nawat when he's speaking.
I know.
And which is okay. It's not his first language. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Right.
Just there's got to be a lot of layers.
For sure.
And maybe not even knowing as another contestant, did Mexico actually do something wrong? I don't know. What is he saying? What is she saying? What is, like, if you don't have the full context, you want to support your sister queen. You don't like the way he's speaking, but did she do something? Like, it's got to be a very hard position for everyone to be in. So I do hope that they make things a lot better moving forward. And honestly, I miss Paula Sugar.
I know, Paula. Seriously, like even with Esther, I was just DMing with her the other day. You know, I just miss the era of when those ladies, very powerful women, were actually involved. They knew what the heck they were doing.
Yes, and I feel like everybody involved had respect for women.
Yeah,
and I just don't know. Obviously, I don't know Nawat's heart, but the way he was speaking to her and felt comfortable speaking in a public platform in front of so many women, the way he felt comfortable speaking that way, I don't feel like he has respect for women. Just because you run and host a pageant does not mean that you respect women. Maybe you see it as a way to make a lot lot of money. Maybe that's 100%. What you think.
Well, and I did find that out in my research. That he is. Which, look, I understand, and I get it. This is a business at the end of the day. So there's people that care about the business, and then there's people that actually care about the empowerment of women. And I think Paula was a little bit of both, but she was definitely about the empowerment of women.
Yes.
So going back to now, what people were talking about how it really, truly is. It's just all business with this guy. It's all business. He's all about the numbers, and he's all about the money. And so, you know, not to like defend the guy or anything, I do understand with all of these countries coming in, he probably did make very, very big deals.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it probably is a requirement that you need to, you know, be putting out the sponsors. You need to be, you know, showcasing it and all this and that and the other. But there's ways to handle that. And how we do things in the U.S. is clearly very different from how it can be in Thailand. So,
absolutely.
you know.
I just think the baseline needs to be respecting and empowering women.
Yeah.
And when that is not happening, something needs to change and needs to change immediately. And I know Raul did his best to like make a firm, clear statement, but I'm like, excuse me, sir, why are you not there?
Yeah, and you're right. Wait, so he's not even in Thailand yet?
No,
Yeah.
he's in Mexico hiding Anne.
Yeah, he is hiding Anne.
He's got to help her out. I don't know.
See, so that's another thing that I've been commenting on the MUO thing as well. As I said, this has been too many statements within the last 2 or 3 days.
Right.
Now you guys need to actually like do something to create change. Otherwise, you're just like bringing on the same thing. Because remember, Now What did something about the first 10 girls, if you vote, can have a dinner with him, which I'm trying to understand what that's all about.
Right. I mean, as a sponsor thing, I was actually thinking about that. And that's a good way to make money. Honey.
Yeah, I guess.
If a sponsor is like paying to be there.
Can you explain to me, this is what no one's answering me on Instagram, like what is the, and I'm not trying to diss the man, but what is the benefit to getting this dinner? Why would you want to sit down with Now What for a dinner?
Well, it's not just him. I believe it's him and sponsors. So like the people that are like, they want to be around the girls. So I'm going to spill some tea right now, which I feel like maybe is not widely known. I feel like I should make this a whole Crown Confession episode.
Love it.
But when I was Miss USA, and I think my Miss Universe was the one that put a stop to this, they would like raffle off dates with Miss USA or Miss Universe. And if you think about that, it's like people are paying money to spend time with you. Like it just feels a little icky.
For sure.
Someone won a date with me, and I, thank goodness, my like travel manager went with me, because if not, I was on a date in a very like romantic type restaurant with a man, and it was dinner with so and so. But I'm like, I'm in a relationship. I was engaged, and he brought me like a bracelet or something. What? Like, it was like a whole situation.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
different.
It's like a man or a sponsor can pay a lot of money to have a more intimate dinner setting with, the title holder. So it's something
that's crazy.
Especially I'm thinking for this specific instance in Thailand, like there are certain Asian fan bases that are huge fan bases, just like Latin American fan bases. So Thai fans are incredible. They love pageants. So I'm sure even within the sponsors, like organizations, they would pay extra money to have a dinner with Nawat and title holders. Like it's a special thing.
Yeah, no, I get that on their end of it. But here's the whole thing with the whole dinner stuff, because I've attended charity gala things where they're offering off like, hang out with Miss USA but it's for charity. Right. It's not for money.
Let me pay $10,000 to go have a private candlelit dinner with Miss USA.
With a bracelet as a gift. Yeah, honestly, that's just.
On a private car home. I'm like, well, my manager's coming with me.
Yeah. There was actually an opportunity for me to do something like that during my reign as Miss California. And I remember my mom being so upset about it. And we turned it down because I won't say who it was, but what the person wanted me to do was literally go to an event and literally just like walk around and just kind of like schmooze up on the guys and something. And I was just like, no. Yeah. I mean, I didn't sign up for this.
Good.
So
I'm glad you had the confidence to say that, because for me, if the people that are in charge, that are also in charge of protecting me and like being like the umbrella, I think, okay, like at the time I was like, well, this is my job. Like this is part of the job description of Miss USA. So I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my job, because it's not anything obviously more than a dinner.
Dinner's different.
But
I was there to
schmoozing.
Like, they wanted me to just kind of, hey, how are you?
Right, be like the beautiful, like hot girl kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
But Gabriella, my Miss Universe at the time, I remember her very specifically saying like, so you're selling me. No, I'm not going to participate in you selling me or my time. And I was like, oh, okay, girl. She was very good at like standing up for how she felt. Let's take a little break and we will come right back and answer the audience questions from Instagram, because I put a little Q&A so people have things that they want to know about all the details of Miss Universe. So let's take a little break and we'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back from the break. I have a baby on the boob.
Lunchtime.
It's lunchtime. And we are talking about all things controversy at Miss Universe in Thailand with Miss Mexico. We've kind of shared the overall details of what has been happening up to the minute and how we feel about it. Any last thoughts on how we feel about it before we get into the Q&A from the audience?
I'm just, well, again, I was really just happy that Raul actually was, he did the press conference saying that now Watt was going to be, kind of away from it all. I just was a little bummed to see that the man was still on the stage with a mic. So my hope is going forward that we will actually finally see the showrunner be behind the scenes.
I agree. Absolutely. And I heard Raul say something like, we have removed him from as much as possible, if not everything. And then literally the very next day, he is on stage.
Yeah.
And now this is quote unquote like pretty much his production.
Yeah.
But there need to be adjustments made
There really
immediately.
should be.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if all these girls have been really made to feel uncomfortable by him, just the way that he spoke to one of their sister queens, and then they have to be on stage with him the very next day.
I know. And I feel really sorry for the girls because I was looking in the background. They were all like clapping for all of his like sentiments and whatnot. I kind of feel like I probably would not be clapping, but I understand the pressure though too.
Absolutely.
Because they don't know,
Exactly.
He probably picked the judges too. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. That's actually a really good point. All right. We have a handful of pageant questions that we'll jump into.
Okay.
And they're a little bit all over the place because the main ones about this subject are explain what happened with Miss Mexico. Like we already talked about all that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give other questions that are in the pageant world. So I would love to hear your answers for these.
Oh, brother.
This is a little bit of time ago, but how did you prepare for a pageant and what type of diet did you follow? Everybody's body is different. I want to know Meagan's example because a lot of people listening to this are going to be future competitors, state competitors, local competitors. So they're going to want to know.
Yeah, so thankfully, I naturally just love fitness. Fitness was always a very, very important thing for me. Are you asking from a fitness point of view or just how did I prepare in general?
Fitness first, because this is more about like body and physical.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And diet.
And diet, yeah. So I loved all of that. And even to this day, I just love to work out. However, understanding the nutrition side of it, I knew that I needed assistance. So before I went in for Miss California, I did get a trainer. Which I thought was the healthiest thing to do because what a lot of girls will do is they'll go on these like crazy, like insane crash diets.
Terrible.
Which, you guys just be really careful with that. I don't recommend them. It's not always safe or the best. So I feel like the best thing to do is to get a nutritionist. And so he was great. He helped me out. I will say it was a lot of protein and believe it or not, a lot of carrots, which was weird. I remember eating a lot of carrots. I don't know what that was about. But what's kind of crazy is I used to eat a lot of cereal, like a lot of just like milk with Frosted Flakes. And he was like, take that out of your diet. And honestly, I have not eaten that ever since that training.
Okay.
Because it changed my taste buds. So
all right, I love that.
Yeah.
That's very good advice. I feel like the same thing I do. Oh my gosh, I never want anybody to try to crash diet to get in shape on stage.
Crazy
I
stuff.
was eating 5 meals a day because I had a nutritionist. They were all protein based with healthy carbs, healthy vegetables, and then
Carrots.
Carrots, and then I was working out 1 to 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like it was I looked at it as part of my job to prepare for the pageant. This is along the lines of the actual topic that we're talking about today. We already know what we think about the situation with Miss Mexico. The additional part of the question is, do you think you would have walked out with her? So if you were actually there, would you have been like, what is going on? Or would you have walked out? Like, what do you think, Meagan?
It's just funny because like I'm already smiling as she's asking the question because it's like, doggone well, I would have been gone. However, I will say, like, I do think it was very professional of her to stand up and say what she said to him. But after a while, you're calling security. Oh, peace out, man. I'm out. Yeah.
Get security on me too.
You're right. Yeah.
Bye.
I'm leaving.
Honestly, I don't know if I would have walked out. Because I feel like I would have been like, what is happening?
No, I get it. And I think there's strength in numbers. So I will say, seeing that other girls were also kind of going, it's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's go. So, but I get staying too. I get it.
Yeah. What do you think about Nadia Mejia, Miss Ecuador's chance at Miss Universe? She is an ex-Miss USA Top 5.
Yes.
And ex-Miss California.
Yeah, she's an ex-Miss California. She and I are a part of the Miss California sisterhood. And I will say I'm so proud of her. She's made so many, she's improved so much just with her overall stage presence. And so I know that with her Ecuadorian roots, people have just had their eye on her from Ecuador for a very, very long time. Because she actually used to compete, I believe, internationally, but for Ecuador, but representing for a different pageant system. I don't know what it is. So Ecuador has been waiting for Nadia to finally have this title. And so she's finally getting her moment. And I will say, I mean, I feel like she might have it in the bag. I don't know. But I'm really excited for her.
From Meagan Tandy.
So, yeah, I'm excited.
I am excited too. I think she's phenomenal. I very much feel like it's like for such a time as this kind of moment. Like I feel like
for sure
she is a woman of faith. She is a strong pageant competitor. She has an incredible story. And
she looks amazing.
And she didn't win on the first time. And I feel like that builds resilience.
100%.
She competed and she got first runner-up at Miss Ecuador after a lot of preparation.
Yeah.
And she didn't give up and she went back. And now she's competing for Miss Universe.
Yes.
She may very well be our next Miss Universe. We will see. I would love to see her and Miss USA in top 2.
Yeah.
That would make me so happy.
I thought about that earlier. I literally said to myself, I was like, you know what? One of them is first runner-up of each other. That would be really cool.
I would love to see that. What do you think that it's really easy for the judging panel to be biased? This is from Dr. Jen Bassett, because maybe of what country you're from, or what region you're from. Like if it's do you know who the judges are? I don't think they've announced all the judges.
Actually, they did.
I saw only one.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. They've been the selection committee specifically is what they're called. But yeah, they've been announcing it over like the last couple of months, which I feel like they need to redo an announcement all in one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like if you've got a judge that's, inexperienced and has no idea how to be neutral, then absolutely, I think someone can be very biased to their own country. And so that's why it's important for MUO to hopefully find people who know how to neutrally go into a situation. And so that, unfortunately, you don't really know that until you just know who the judges are and how they're going about it. But do I think that there could possibly be a judge that's on a panel anywhere and they're from wherever and they're just like, oh, I want to make sure my girl gets in? I think that is unfortunately possible. That's why you got to find neutral judges who can be professional in the situation.
I agree. We have 2 more questions before we wrap up.
Okay.
Stephanie Sullivan says, why are they not allowed to have hair and makeup done by an artist there? Were you aware of that?
No.
So
what?
That, I mean, I feel like if she's saying it, she is a pageant girl. I know Stephanie.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably what it is. And that, I feel like generally is more so the rule. Like you have to do your own hair and makeup for most things.
Yeah.
And then it's like prelims and finals. They have a team backstage to help you out.
Oh, well, yeah. That's normal.
Okay.
So is she talking about throughout all the activities?
Right. Because for Miss USA, you can have a hair and makeup team for you every single day.
Yeah, which that's new, by the way. That was not like that, back in my day.
Same.
But yeah, no, for prelims and for finals, absolutely. But I think, for the 3 weeks leading up to it, I mean, that would be kind of crazy, I would say.
I would say too. And also, if you are Miss Universe, you're not always going to have a hair and makeup team with you all the time. So you need to be ready and be prepared to get yourself together. True. Especially on the fly. Like there were times when I was Miss USA and I had, they usually hire local hair and makeup people. And there was one time where I woke up at 4 a.m. Someone did my face for 2 hours and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks like I got punched.
Yeah.
Like it was not like bruises on my cheek, but it wasn't. It was makeup, too much contour. It was not working.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to be able to do. I literally had to take it all off before like 4 appearances back to back to back, and I had to like redo my whole face.
Nice.
I think this is a good one to end on because this is a pageant episode. What are some beauty hacks for getting ready for a big pageant? So honestly, any of big takeaway tips for pageants for you? Just getting ready, making sure you feel prepared and confident.
I mean, my brain immediately goes to what your mental preparation is, because let's be honest, you're going to be in a room full of women who are just also absolutely stunning, and it can't just be all about that physical aesthetic. So it's like, where's your brain in all of this? Like, how are you handling that competition? So I would always tell people when I competed, and this is even how it is now whenever I go in for auditions, like I never pay attention to who I'm up against.
Absolutely.
And I know it's kind of tough. Because it's like, oh, God, there's Miss whatever over there. But I swear on everything, if you just focus on yourself and make sure that your mind is where it needs to be, all that stuff, it don't matter, girl. You got this.
Oh, yes. I love that. That is the number one thing that I feel like was a game changer for me with my 5 years of competing to when I actually did well and won. And I think it was like you, Raquel, Kristen, and Tammy who really had me focus on my headspace.
Yeah.
Tammy said something to me. She said, never give the crown to someone else in your head. So never look at someone and think, oh, she could totally win that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not yours if you're thinking that way.
For sure. And honestly, and I never thought like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you did so well.
Yeah. And keep in mind, my year, a lot of people had their eyes on the girl who actually did win. But I mean, I didn't pay attention to that.
Exactly.
I was like, whatever.
You should not be paying attention to it. All righty. Well, y'all, we are spilling and talking about all the piping hot tea at Miss Universe. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you, Meagan Tandy Wellington, for joining me today. Pageant expert and extraordinaire.
Ooh, I like that. Hey, I'll take that title.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much.
Of all the wonderful titles you have. So thanks for listening. Make sure you are subscribed so you listen to our podcast every week. And I will see you next week on the Hold My Crown podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Yay Media Group.